Gates will be locked and thousands of rangers furloughed at Phoenix, AP. Embargoed until 6 a.m. ET. Entrances to national parks will be blocked and thousands of park rangers will be furloughed if Congress doesn't reach a budget agreement this weekend, the Department of Interior said Friday. The stance is a reversal from 5 years ago when the Trump administration kept some iconic parks open in a move that has been lambasted as illegal by the Government Accountability Office, the congressional watchdog. This time around, the majority of more than 420 national park units will be off limits to the public, Interior officials said. The governors of Arizona and Utah vowed to keep some of the most iconic parks open with state funding, including Grand Canyon and Zion. Whether tourists can access other national parks will depend on size, location and other factors. Generally, if a site is closed or locked during non-business hours it will remain that way, Interior officials said. Places like the National Mall will stay open, but there are no guarantees that restrooms or trash will be maintained. The public will be encouraged not to visit sites during the period of lapse in appropriations out of consideration for protection of natural and cultural resources, as well as visitor safety, the Interior Department said in a statement. Parker Smith and Hillary Smith hike along a closed road outside Arches National Park in Utah, which is closed due to the partial government shutdown, in January 2019. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. Rick Egan, the Salt Lake Tribune via AP. The director of the National Park Service can enter into non-reimbursable arrangements with state, tribal or local governments, or third parties for donations to fund park operations, the department said. Shutdown contingency plans were expected to be posted online early Friday. The nonprofit National Parks Conservation Association doesn't oppose such agreements but noted that keeping sites open during a shutdown without sufficient staff and other resources can be disastrous. For example, trash cans and portable toilets overflowed at Joshua Tree National Park during a shutdown in late 2018 and early 2019 that lasted 35 days. Some tourists driving off-road damaged the fragile ecosystem. Time equals 400 ms, greater than Sen. John Barrasso, a Republican representing Wyoming, on Thursday urged Interior Secretary Deb Haaland to keep the parks open with previously collected fees. The Trump administration did so in 2018 and 2019 in violation of appropriations laws, the congressional watchdog said. Democratic Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Republican Utah Governor Spencer Cox said they will tap state funds to ensure visitors can still enjoy the dramatic depths of the Grand Canyon and the soaring red cliffs of Zion Valley, among other parks. They cited the economic benefits to their states and small communities that depend on tourism. Time equals 400 ms, greater than national parks collectively could lose nearly 1 million visitors daily during a shutdown, and gateway communities could lose as much as $70 million, the Conservation Association said. Arizona lottery funds would help keep the Grand Canyon Park open at a basic level, Hobbs has said. Time equals 400 ms, greater than Arizona paid about $64,000 a week during the 35-day shutdown to cover restroom cleaning, trash removal and snowplowing at Grand Canyon. People with permits to hike in the backcountry or raft on the Colorado River could still go, but no new permits were issued. Hotels and restaurants remained open. Those who will work in another potential shutdown include emergency services workers at Grand Canyon who protect visitors and the roughly 2,500 people who live within the national park, Grand Canyon spokeswoman Joelle Baird said. Utah paid some $7,500 daily during the last part of December 2018 to keep Zion, Bryce Canyon and Arches running during a shutdown. The nonprofit Zion Forever Project put up $16,000 to pay a skeleton crew and keep bathrooms in the visitor center open at Zion, which continued drawing several thousand visitors daily. This year, Colorado Governor Jared Polis directed the state's Department of Natural Resources to develop a plan to operate and protect resources at Rocky Mountain National Park and 3 others. In South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem was reviewing a shutdown's possible impact on national parks, including Mount Rushmore. Montana Governor Greg Gianforte's office didn't say if the state would spend money to keep Glacier or Yellowstone national parks open. Most of Yellowstone is in Wyoming, but 3 of the 5 entrances are in Montana. Wyoming's Republican Governor Mark Gordon is awaiting more information from Interior and the White House to better understand the state's options, spokesman Michael Perlman said. Time equals 400 ms, greater than in Washington state, home to Mount Rainier and Olympic National Parks. Governor Jay Inslee has no plans to provide more funding or staff to national parks if there's a shutdown. California Governor Gavin Newsom's administration said it won't pay to keep national parks open. AP staff writers Ed Comenda in Olympia, Washington. Amy Beth Hansen in Helena, Montana. Matthew Brown in Billings, Montana. Jesse Bedane in Denver. Tran Nguyen in Sacramento. And Matthew Daly in Washington contributed to this report. File. The main entrance to Grand Canyon National Park remains closed to visitors in Grand Canyon, Aries, due to the government shutdown, in October 2013. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. AP photo, Ross D. Franklin, file. Time equals 400 ms, greater than file. The Grand Canyon National Park entrance is blocked off, in Tucson, Aries, October 8, 2013, because of partial government shutdown. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations, and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. AP photo, Matt York, file. People gather to watch the sunset at Delicate Arch in Arches National Park near Moab, Utah, September 8, 2016. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. Spencer Heaps, The Deseret News via AP. File. Ahmed Al-Awaj, of Libya, gets his photo taken by Juan Riaz, of Colombia, at the Grand Canyon National Park entrance in Tucson, Aries. October 2013. The friends traveled from Las Vegas to see the Grand Canyon unknowing it was shut down. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. AP photo, Matt York, file. A group of motorcyclists from France walk back out from the main entrance to Grand Canyon National Park after they learned they were not allowed to enter the park as it remains closed due to the government shutdown, in October 2013. Arizona's Grand Canyon National Park and all 5 national parks in Utah will remain open if the U.S. government shuts down, Sunday, October 1, 2023. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs and Utah Governor Spencer Cox say that the parks are important destinations and local communities depend on dollars from visitors. AP photo, Ross D. Franklin, file.